Oliver has watched Star Wars finally.
Yes.
The original trilogy.
The original
Yes.
trilogy. I never really watched any of the films in its entirety, but I did watch. I've only watched chunks, really. And this is at the time when I watched the films for the first time on like TV or something. I was fully convinced that the CGI was revolutionary for its time, but then I realized that that's because I was watching the George Lucas re-edited versions. So I thought CGI was created or innovated way back before Jurassic Park came around, so that was quite embarrassing. But I revisited them recently in preparation for the new film, and I'm interested. I'm hooked on the whole franchise. I probably want to get into more of the extended universe at some point. Non-canon or canon, I don't really care.
Off the books, I think we should book a viewing for us three at some point.
Apparently, Star Wars crashed the servers of many ticket selling companies.
Yeah, everywhere crashed. Crashed.
They're very ambitious about how much money they're going to make for just the opening weekend. Do you hear what figures they're thinking of that they're predicting?
I think it's
600 million opening weekend.
Nice.
I think it's going to smash.
That's 3 times
big
big.
Change in your pocket.
That's 3 times bigger than the first Avengers.
I think this is going to be so big it's going to smash.
Box office records.
Well, yeah, it's going to smash. George, not George. David, not David Cameron. Cameron, who's the Cameron?
David Cameron.
Not David Cameron. Who am I thinking of? Who's the director that's David? Titanic and Avatar.
Oh, James Cameron.
Cameron, even. Fucking hell.
You got the surname.
I think it's going to smash those out of the water, because back in the day, Star Wars was on top.
Are you sure? Are you sure it'll be Avatar?
I'm positive it'll be Avatar, seeing as nobody knew what the fuck Avatar was, and
it was a very boring film.
Yeah, it was, but loads of people went and saw it. So think about this. My dad went and watched Star Wars when he was 4 years old. I have then watched all of them then. My children will watch them.
But yeah, basically what you're saying is Star
Wars.
3
generation, yeah.
Star Wars is multi-generational.
Yeah, it's about 3 generations worth of people. Yeah. And those 3 generations are going to try and be crammed into that first weekend.
Plus the old films hold up.
Yeah, the old films hold up.
They will for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Spoilers. The Death Star blows up. But
twice.
That whole fight.
I've seen the movies. I know that.
But the way that was shot, the fact that it was done with models, everything was built.
Yeah, apparently JJ wants to bring that back.
Oh yeah,
he wants to use models in front of a green screen, so that the actual objects that the audience view or perceive through their senses is actually tangible. Like
right.
Any of the scenes where the sets are real, the actors can actually interact, with their surroundings, which I thought was really cool.
Very little CG used in this motion picture.
So, on that topic, let's talk about the latest trailer, and it's the last trailer.
The trailer.
Which is good, because I don't want to see any more footage. I'm pretty much... I'm there in the cinema right now.
This trailer gave me a horrible feeling in my gut that Luke is going to die.
Yeah. So, Jack and I have got a bet going at the moment. Jack believes that Luke Skywalker is going to die. I don't believe he will. I believe it's Han Solo. So, if Han dies, Jack owes me £5. But if Luke dies, I owe him 5. Any other outcome, all bets are off.
So, didn't Harrison mention that in the originals he wanted to die? His character
He did.
To die?
Yes, he did.
He wanted heroic
his
death.
To be killed off.
So, it's very likely.
It is more likely now than it was back then. This was before everyone realised that George Lucas was just a whore.
To put it bluntly.
He's a cinematic genius. Look at Star Wars. And then once
he donates so much to charity. He's a real massive piece of amazing man.
Great guy,
The sarcasm is strong with this one.
It's not sarcasm, it's...
Sarcasm leads to the dark side.
He's not really a whore, he's just...
Sarcasm leads to jealousy. Jealousy leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
You forgot the little croak at the end that Yoda does.
Bend over and show me your dark side, you will.
Sounds like a...
Yes, let it flow through you.
It sounds like a Yoda orgy with with all three of us going
through your look.
So, anything interesting that caught your eye in the new trailer?
Caught my eye.
Black guy's got a lightsaber.
Kylo Ren, who's new.
Yeah.
And might be related to a certain character from the original trilogy.
Possibly. Who though?
Mr. Solo.
Yeah. Kylo Ren is the name.
And what's the Knights of Ren? What's that about?
The Knights of Ren.
There was one shot in the trailer where it's really dark and it's rainy. He stood front and center in front of all these other guys. Apparently, one of them is going to be Andy Serkis's character.
Right.
Something General Snoke. I think that was his name.
No idea.
And he's going to be...
General Smoke, did you say?
Snoke.
Snoke. Oh,
not M.
Good.
N.
If it was Smoke, I would have gotten angry. But Snoke, okay.
Yeah, it sounds like a bizarre Star Wars character name. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like a Star Wars character name generator on the internet, and it'll come up with these weird names.
Star Wars name
It'll be
generator.
like Kyle is Kylo, obviously.
Yeah.
Come on.
Kylie Minogue.
Yeah. What about the giant red robot towards the end?
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looked real. Hopefully it is real.
Just the way it functions just looks cool.
It does look cool.
Because it looks like, from my perspective, that it could fall over, like, easily.
It does look like it should fall over quite easy.
Yeah.
The planet apparently isn't... Obviously, I think it's already been established that the planet is not
Tatooine.
Tatooine. It's actually somewhere else, and Luke accidentally devastated the planet. Like one of the he's evil now theories was he went back and almost did exactly the same as what Anakin did, but kind of devastated a lot of people.
I've also thought about because obviously there's a difference between the lightsaber duels in the original trilogy and the prequels, whereas because the prequels are more choreographed and the originals felt a bit more raw and, I don't know, realistic, I suppose.
Yes.
Do you reckon they'll go down the realistic route? Not have these fancy dance rehearsals?
I don't know. No idea. I don't know. I think it might feel a little bit more like the originals.
Yeah.
And Kylo Ren looks like he might be more of a big bastard sword lightsaber smashing down on him instead of doing cool tricks and shit.
Yeah.
Like just straight up trying to smash you in the face with it instead of doing tricks and dances and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that's the one drawback of Anakin Skywalker when he turns to the dark side and fights Obi-Wan on that lava planet. It doesn't really show him unleashing his rage on Obi-Wan. It
does a little bit.
Like the way he fights
yeah.
him. It's kind
does.
It's still the same choreography, kind of. It's not him absolutely lashing it out in front of him and trying to
sometimes
take one of his hands
there
off.
are a few points where he kind of does look like he's proper going for it.
It's it's probably some of the best choreography in Star Wars.
Yeah, according to, I think it was Ewan McGregor that said that the other actor actually really went for it. Like properly went for it in those last scenes where he was fighting him.
Hayden Christensen.
Haydians, Christians, and...
Oh, what about the bit that got me chills was when Harrison Ford pretty much said that all the fairy tales about the Jedi and the Sith are true. I thought that was really cool.
Well, it begs the question, have people forgotten?
About what?
Yeah, exactly. It's only been 30 years.
Oh, about Jedi.
Well, it's the Clone Wars.
Over 30 years.
There's not going to be many people left alive that remember the Clone Wars where there were Jedi everywhere. It's going to be their children who are brought up in the era of the Empire.
Their children.
Their children.
The Kyldren.
Their Kylo Ren.
The Kylo Ren. Children.
Their Kylo Rendron. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I apologise.
Something we haven't addressed yet is you're going to walk in to watch Star Wars, then you're going to get the Disney logo.
I don't think I'll be too offended.
I'm going to be offended.
Well, no, because the Disney logo doesn't show up in any Marvel film, so...
That's true, but on Marvel merchandise, you don't see Disney plastered on it. On my Star Wars t-shirt, it says Disney.
Oh, no.
Yeah. On there.
Kind of makes you wonder, like, way back in 1999, or maybe a year before, when the hype for The Phantom Menace was kind of... Do you reckon that some people were wearing Jar Jar Binks shirts?
Oh, yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
I was talking with somebody about this the other day, and we got into a massive argument about this, but he was about 13 when episode 1 came out, and from what he said, people were actually looking forward to Jar Jar Binks, and they were doing impressions and having fun with it, and they didn't see it as that bad.
It's the internet that killed Jar Jar Binks.
It's the internet that killed him, yeah. But
and if J.J. Abrams fucks his film up, he'll be forever known as Jar Jar Abrams.
Yeah. The problem though is, I said to him, yes, but that was through the eyes of you, a 13-year-old. You don't fully understand a film until you've watched it when you're a lot older. Yeah. I've worked that out throughout my life. I've watched Star Wars several times, and it's always had a different meaning every time. But I think this one's going to sell a lot more because it will appeal more to original Star Wars fans as well.
Star Trek, Star Wars.
Which do I prefer?
Because I haven't really watched any of the old Star Trek. So at the moment it's just Star Wars.
Both Star Trek and Star Wars have their pros and cons.
Like, you'll compare J.J. Abrams' version of Star Trek to his version of Star Wars, and Star Wars will win, just because it's more original.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love Star Wars, because they've introduced so many fictional concepts, as well as it does still have so much potential for other stories to take place within that universe, whereas Star Trek is kind of, I know, it's kind of self-contained, like, it's not much happening.
Not much going down. In terms of complexity, Star Trek is much more complex than Star Wars.
What's the one con of Star Wars? I think it's that it's the stories that we know of in all the films are actually kind of using the same Hollywood tropes, like other movie style. Like the hero becomes the chosen one who has to stop the bad guy.
Well, no. Sorry.
Fairly sure right. John Boyega's like the Luke Skywalker of this movie.
Yeah, to stop the evil forces.
That's true, but Star Wars changed that forever. It used the same Hollywood trope, but it stuck it on its head. It's like, yes, look, here's the good guy, he's going to defeat all evil. Oh no, he's not. He's fucking evil dad, Will.
It was Luke that drove Vader to turn good. The fact that almost everyone thought he was lying.
It was true, and the fact that they had to keep it
that means Luke is his sister, Chris.
They kept that secret quiet from even the cast and crew up until
James
they were
Earl
shooting.
Jones thought he was lying, and he was the fucking voice actor.
Yeah.
They say the Force is forgotten 30 years on, but then no one really believed in the Force all that much, even when Vader was around. 20 years after the prequel trilogy, people were already I don't know,
hokey religions, and
I haven't really seen it. My parents sometimes talk about it, but they never really saw it either, because the Jedi weren't exactly the people who went out in public all that often.
Oh, really? So they were like masked vigilantes?
They were like monks. So it's like not everyone believes
superheroes.
that monks can actually levitate. Not everyone believes that Jedi can use the Force. So they're kind of like a hocus pocus shitty thing. And this is actually 60 years later, So,
Yeah.
well, 50, 60 years after the prequel trilogy. So, almost a lifetime later, and there's no Jedi left. And it was already a little bit of a, I don't know if that really exists to the common man. Because imagine living on Tatooine, you would have never seen a Jedi in your entire life during the prequels. It's like, apart from people on Coruscant who saw Jedis have their power, apart from that, they were kind of just very acrobatic and could use laser swords. So like, it's more of a legend, more of a myth. And because it's over time, people have forgotten about it because there are no Force users, so there's no way to prove it either. So I can see why it's more of a legend, more of a probably doesn't exist kind of thing. And then Han's like, it does exist, I've seen it, trust me.
Trust me, I know a guy.
Trust me, I know a guy. He's got a light stick that he waves around.
His face got fucked up by that car crash.
Wampa.
That scene totally wasn't added in just to...
he didn't really look that much different,
to explain why Mark Hamill's face was half destroyed.
It didn't look that much different when I watched it.
No, he didn't. He didn't look all that much different at all.
They did a good job, whoever was responsible for
good job, man.
reconstructing his face. Was it...
Yeah.
What did he look like right after the crash? Did his jaw just completely...
I have no idea what it looked like. In all the behind-the-scenes pictures, he carried on filming the movie with a bandage over half his face.
Oh.
But they filmed from certain angles, so you never see that side of his face. I don't know. I don't think his jaw really got too badly affected. It was just kind of the skin on his face.
Oh, right.
It looks a little bit more stretched on the left-hand side now.
Right. Did he have severe burns, or was it...
I don't think he got burns, but...
Okay, he looks slightly different, right.
Yeah. And then they put the Wampa scene in to explain why his face is a bit fucked up.
Yeah. Battlefront beta.
Okay. The Battlefront beta. I played a few matches, got to the level 5, which is the highest you could get to. We call it the dickhead gun, the final gun you unlock.
Oh, yes.
Sort of the big...
It's a cunt machine.
Machine gun.
That's what it does.
You don't need to aim in at all in that game. You can kind of just shoot and it's super accurate. So that'll probably change in the main game.
Yeah.
Gameplay itself. The game looks gorgeous.
Yes.
The gameplay is actually quite good, but it could be better. Spawn camping is the thing.
Yeah. The whole spawn mechanic is bad and good at the same time.
Oh, that in the AT-AT Assault.
Yes.
It looks beautiful, but the game itself is kind of broken.
I don't like how the Imperials have more of an advantage in the game.
Yeah, that was noted by the developers. They know that it was stupidly hard. I mean, but then the argument that I put is they win that fight in the film.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Jack, this takes place just after Luke's ship has crashed, because there's a downed AT-AT right next to a speeder that's crashed.
Trying to destroy the shield generator or whatever array so that they can bombard the planet. I think that's why they do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's a shield around the planet, so they can't attack Hoth. So they go in and try to destroy it to take the shields down. They actually win the Battle of Hoth, I think, don't they?
Yeah, they win the Battle of Hoth.
That's funny.
The Empire wins.
They used the same idea when they put a shield around Endor to protect the...
It was generated from Endor to protect the Death Star.
Yeah. That makes sense.
We learned from our mistakes last time. We'll put a shield not on the thing. Yeah. So nothing can attack our spaceship.
Yeah. And one of the heroes they're going to introduce in, I suppose, the full game when it comes out is Han Solo. And I just recently saw the new trailer where Darth Vader's just about to fuck him up, and then it cuts to black.
I saw a couple of things where it showed pictures of Han Solo and Leia in her prisoner costume on the Death Star, the white costume, I think.
Yeah.
She has her blaster. That's quite cool. It's the one she uses to kill one or two stormtroopers before they set their lasers to stun and
set a laser. We're gonna say it as loud as we can so that anyone that's in here can hear us and won't shoot at us. Set lasers to stun. Oh, my best friend just got shot.
Boba Fett looks like fun as well.
Yeah.
Will you have a limit on your jetpack, or can you just jetpack?
The
whole way
jetpacks
through.
are...
It's you can use it once every like 30 seconds or something, or 20 seconds. It's a
boring.
cooldown item.
That's for the
Grenades are
general...
cooldown items as well.
I will
so-
show
Hey.
my lack
Jetpacks
of
are-
appreciation for that by purposely sending Boba Fett into the Sarlacc pit. Because why the fuck not?
Did you see that bit? I quite like that.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's
Not
not
yet.
going to happen again."
Yeah,
Mm.
that was really cool.
Yeah, in the extended lore,
Rest of the franchise.
the Sarlacc pit with Booba or Boba Fett, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
Boba.
He actually escapes, but he's very nearly dead. And the Rancor trainer saves him, and they become really good friends. And Boba attends his wedding and everything, and they get really close, and they're really good friends. And then he helps Boba get back on his feet, and he becomes a bounty hunter again. And so it's possible that Boba Fett is not dead in the new ones, because he's the longest living clone
Is that canon?
ever. It's not necessarily canon, no.
Well,
He's not...
It's
He
sort
is
of
a
an extended
clone.
lore.
but there's the
he's-
possibility, right?
He is a clone, but he doesn't have the short lifespan.
He does kind of have a short-ish lifespan. It's not full human lifespan because
No.
he is part clone. Well, he is a clone, but he was
What's
obviously
the
born the
science
normal way.
behind that, though? If you have all the qualities of a human, surely that would, you'd be fine. You'd be the exact same.
Well, they traded off longevity of units for speed at which units can be made.
Yeah. So when they made the
The original clones.
clones, they grew really fast and they learned very quickly, but their lifespan was cut almost in half, maybe even more. But Boba Fett, he was born as a baby and raised by Jango Fett instead of having a
But it
fast, sped up life cycle. So he grows up like a normal person, but I'm fairly sure he only lives. He's like 60 is about his limit.
Mm.
He will live to about 60, but he travels around and finds ways to extend his life, I believe. And he should be alive during the events of Force Awakens, if they follow that canon. Like the new placement for Boba Fett, the woman from Game of Thrones who's got the silver suit, takes that helmet off, or goes into a ship, and she's actually in like Slave One. And it's actually just Boba Fett, but in new armor.
Or he ends up having a son, just like Django.
Boba Fett's daughter is that I cannot remember for the life of me what she'll be called in the movie.
She's in the new movie. Is that what you're saying?
Is
that confirmed?
No, there's the silver stormtrooper lady.
Oh, Brienne of Tarth as a stormtrooper.
Brienne of Tarth. I can't remember what her name is in the actual.
Gwendolyn Christie, I think.
If that's like, that'd be cool if that was like Boba Fett's daughter,
Yeah.
because she's obviously special.
She came straight out of Los Santos Customs.
Los Santos
got a chrome job.
You can give me a chrome job any day.
Walked in with a normal... White wasn't doing it for her, so she went all shiny.
Mm-hmm.
She went shiny.
Well, stormtroopers are
Captain
very
Phasma. With a name like that, you have to give them better armor.
Yeah.
And it makes her stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if she's like a bounty hunter that's loyal to the Empire, so they gave her Empire armor, or if it's something different. I'm not sure how exactly it will work.
Yeah, I'm
sure
interested.
I'm sure it'll be explained why she has shiny.
Oh, yeah.
shiny armor.
I'm interested in how they still manage to get all these resources to, bring back the New Order or the Empire. So obviously, because when you kill an emperor, the Empire doesn't fall with him.
Well, no, they're...
No, but I'm fairly sure the Empire does scatter, and it doesn't really... It really goes downhill after the Empires. Because Darth Vader and
they just have
two
to
of the
regroup.
leaders...
the Emperor were the leaders, but then...
It turned into warlords. All of the generals turned into warlords, and then they just had their own
They
thing.
kind of split off into factions and shit.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your sources? Is this from like
this is from
new line of canon?
Sort of extended lore.
This is
It's not
this is
necessarily canon.
Yeah, this is the non-canon, but if it's half following it, what happens is they kill the Emperor, they kill Darth Vader, the war keeps going on, but because they're in disarray, as the leaders are gone, they're able to make more and more, the rebels are able to make more and more victories,
Right.
which make it a lot easier. which is going to be interesting because, especially with the DLC map Battle of Jakku, which is where the film.
It's a lava planet, isn't it?
No, desert.
That's the new Tatooine.
That's the new Tatooine, basically.
Mm.
What's it called? Jakku.
Jakku, yes.
That won't stick. That won't stick as well as Tatooine.
Battle of Jakku takes, from the looks of it, takes place after that ship from the trailer has crash landed.
John Boyega is a stormtrooper.
Yes.
But he loses faith in the Empire. Well, all the New Order starts and he loses faith in it. And so he leaves, and as he's running away, he gets shot down and crashes on Jakku.
And then meets the female character.
And then they come down looking for him, I think, and discovered more than they bargained for.
And my theory is that he reacts to something that they do, which is evil and against everything.
Yeah, he joined
to
fight for good, and then realised they're evil.
Well, yeah, that's the whole other side of it.
Or was ordered to do something he couldn't do.
Yeah, people that live inside the boundaries of the Empire, they have flashing working toilets, they have a house that they live in, they have this, that, and the other. Yes, they may be oppressed, but then sometime, like...
Have you ever seen a flashing toilet in the Star Wars universe?
Exactly.
Are they even called toilets? Do they look like the toilets that we have?
The best way to put it is there are two sides to a coin. No one is purely evil. There are always... I mean, take World War II, for example. The Nazis were evil, but the families that they went home to...
Oh, no, don't...
The soldiers...
Are you justifying what the Nazis did?
I'm not justifying what the Nazis did. The Empire are evil.
Okay.
Just like the Nazis.
I thought that was... You were stepping into really dangerous territory there. I thought you were actually...
Well, I'm not... No. I'm just saying that some of the soldiers weren't fighting because they fully supported the Nazis. They were just fighting for their country because they had to fight to defend their families that were living back home.
Yeah.
Like that might be where John Boyega is coming from as his character. Instead of having a family, he's just grown up in an environment of the Empire and wants to serve his planet proud, but then has to slaughter 20,000 children. I don't know.
20,000 children?
Yes.
It's from Dragon Ball Z, I think. In the first or second episode, I think it's the first. The main character's brother comes down and he's evil, and he's like, "Join me, brother." And Goku's like, "No." And he's like, "To prove to me that you're faithful, bring me 100 corpses by morning, or I'll kill you and all your friends and your son."
You've got incest happening there.
Well, it's not incest; it's just a kiss.
They went to
just
Disney
a whimsical kiss. It probably meant nothing.
Kissing isn't incest; it's just a bit weird.
Do you know what?
It's a sign of her respect and care.
Isn't incest
for
like
Luke?
sexual relations with a sibling?
Put it this way: the people that made Back to the Future. I watched a documentary recently. They went here, there, and everywhere with it, and eventually they ended up at Steven Spielberg. But they ended
up in Steven Spielberg.
But they went to Disney because everyone they went to previously said, "Yes, it's to Disney. Go to Disney." They went to Disney, and they said, "We can't make this. Why? We're Disney. You've made a film here about incest." Where along the lines of Back to the Future do you see incest?
The first film.
When the first film.
When his mum gets a little seductive.
Futurama. Fries his own uncle. Or his own grandfather or something.
That's weird. That's a whole nother time travel.
It's a weird little reference there.
Yes.
Pulled out of my ass.
Yeah. For Disney to buy something that has incest in them, it needs to be worth of value. So
I don't think Disney actually were like, "Oh no, we can't do it because of incest."
Well, they were interviewing the guy that made Back to the Future, and he was in the meeting.
Back to the Future, yes, but I'm talking about Star Wars.
But how could Back to the Future be incest? I don't think of incest when I think of Back to the Future. It's Star Wars as well.
There was there were videos of him and the female actor in it reacting to the trailer, and he was like flipping out and she cried, I think.
As you should.
The most recent trailer, I mean, yeah.
How cool have you got to feel?
I'm in fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.